Could I ask if people would have a seat and to keep your pods distinct? Maybe three chairs between pods? Yes, that's 6 chairs. Welcome, welcome, and good morning. Could people take their seats, please? I am Kay, and it's my pleasure to serve as this morning's worship associate for this, our first Sunday back for a long time. The energy in here is awesome good. Fabulous. It's so exciting. This is surely a service of gratitude for the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County, also known as Uufcc. Today is also, actually tonight, is the first night of Hanukkah. It's also a holiday of gratitude and rededication, which is what we're doing here this morning. A perfect pairing. This service is being broadcast live via YouTube, as well as in person for the small group gathered here this morning. We are grateful to be together this morning and do so with special thanks to our technology wizards and those supporting technology that make this work every Sunday. Corey, Tom, Sue, and Sharon G. This is their first time using this particular technology with people here and at home, so please be patient if there are issues. And as music is such an important part of our lives, I offer a big thank you to Jim, Linda, and members of the UUFCC choir for this morning's music. It's a special treat to have Jim playing here live music for us this morning. Here's the business part, and get it out of the way. To respect and protect everyone's privacy, it is our practice to use only first names and last initials if necessary. During the Zoom part of this, during the service, the Zoom chat will be disabled. And I know this sounds funny, but for those in the sanctuary, y'all need to just hum behind your masks. No singing, please. And for those of you at home, you need to sing as loud as you can, but on mute. And please remain muted throughout the service, even when you're singing. You may wish to have a chalice or a candle available for our chalice lighting ceremony. For those people in the sanctuary, please be sure to put your phones in worship mode. At the end of the service, we will virtually gather together for a certain time, but we ask you, if you're at home, to remain muted until you see a posting that invites you to begin. Your patience will be appreciated as we need a moment or two to close down the YouTube connection and open the Zoom. In the name of compassion and loving kindness, we open our hearts to accept all kinds of people. For those who seek, our hearts have become church, temple, synagogue, mosque, sanctuary. For those who are hurting, we reach out to share your pain. Wherever you may come from, we welcome you here. We, the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County, believe in the religion of love, which prioritizes no color, no language, no nationality. We honor the truth of all personal stories. Our religion is one of love and inclusion. We'll now have music enter, rejoice, and come in. because Jim is going to play a medley of Hebrew folk songs for Hanukkah, arranged and played by him. memories of childhood. The lighting of the chalice is a ritual that unites Unitarian Universalists everywhere. It's a symbol of so many of our values: love, guidance, courage, sacrifice, illumination, passion in the light of community. No single interpretation is sacrosanct over the others. Like our faith, they are all inclusive and accepted. The chalice lighting words this morning are by Bruce Southworth, Minister Emeritus at the Community Church of New York, Unitarian Universalist. For the gift of this day and for our community of spiritual nature and compassion, we give thanks. May our many sparks meet and merge in communion of heart and soul. As Dorothy lights the chalice here in the sanctuary, please join me in the reciting of our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. I invite you to light your chalices or candles at home. And as tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, we'll light the first candle and say the blessings over the candles. As we light this first candle and enter the festival of Hanukkah, we give thanks for arriving to this moment, and we acknowledge the blessings and the challenges of this past year. In the radiance of the first light, we give thanks for moments of connection, awareness, kindness, and love. And we also honor the experiences of disappointment, sadness, and pain. The first blessing: blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah light. The second blessing: blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed the miracles for our forefathers in those days at this time. And special, because it's the first night, is the third blessing. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has granted us life, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this occasion. Opening words today. We know that each soul is like a flame which is brought into this world. Each of us has the potential to light up the life of another human being. A simple smile, a kind word, and caring touch, all these can make a difference. A flame that is extinguished cannot regenerate its own light. And there are times in our life that we suffer. Maybe we're lonely or depressed or uninspired. We are like the extinguished candle. Things are dark and we feel alone. It is at these moments that we look to one another to ignite us and to inspire us once again. When we light up the life of another, we help them to release their divine light. Over the 8 nights of Hanukkah, we add a candle. In doing so, we bring more light into the world. In that same vein, each kindness we do for another person helps them heal and be whole once again. And now I haven't gotten to do this for a long time. It's a story for all ages. This is on Hanukkah and lighting of candles, adapted from a story by Rabbi Mark Melamut. So let's just put it out there. Hanukkah is not the Jewish Christmas. Yeah, they're both on the same day. One's on December 25th, the other one's on Kislev 25th. You know Kislev, right? They both bring more light into homes during a time of shortened daylight, and for a lot of people, they involve present giving. So what is Hanukkah? And that if you're asking the question, then know that you're in great company, as it's the very same question the ancient rabbis asked each other as they developed this holiday. They discussed whether the essence of Hanukkah is about a little bit of oil that lasted 8 days, or about a military victory of few over many, or some combination of both. While many Jewish holidays find their roots in the Torah, Hanukkah finds its source in the book of Maccabees. And while it can appear to be all about playing dreidels and lighting the menorah, which is actually called a Chanukiah, it's also a miraculously meaningful 8 days for the Jewish people. You may remember the old story, something about finding a container of oil in the Second Temple in Jerusalem, and that burned for 8 days beyond its 1-day capacity. Great. You've got one of the foundational Hanukkah stories down. The other story is about the Maccabees who risked their lives for religious freedom against the bullying Greek government and the local ruler Antiochus, and a forced culture of assimilation into Greek culture. The invading culture of the Greek rulers not only forced Jewish practice underground, but also literally destroyed the center of Jewish life, the Second Temple. Judah the Maccabee, along with his family and followers, stood up against the opposition and ignited a revolution. Their fight continued for 3 years, pitting an army 6 times greater than the Jewish guerrilla fighters. But upon winning this war, the Jewish fighters cleaned up and rededicated the temple. This is where the oil found was only enough for 1 day, but lasted 8, long enough for them to make new oil. Whichever foundational story resonates with you, it's really about rising to the occasion. Sometimes oil outlasts itself, and sometimes people outdo themselves. While exchanging presents has become mainstream in Hanukkah celebrations, for many, the rituals center around cultivating presence. The word Hanukkah means dedication. When the temple was nearly destroyed and Jewish life almost destroyed with it, a small group gathered in strong force to rededicate their temple. So Hanukkah is a time to ask, what do we want to rededicate ourselves to? Remember, we gathered around, lighting the menorah, spinning dreidels, and eating latkes. And just as a side note, one of the reasons that dreidels are so important, it was a game that was played at that time and was often used as a diversion against the Greek military. They would play dreidels outside and kind of distract the people who were coming around to make sure that Sabbath lights weren't being lit, that prayers weren't being said, etc. Lighting a menorah may be the only Jewish thing that some do all year, and that can even be a heroic act as it celebrates the freedom to be Jewish in a majority non-Jewish culture. We do it by gathering around and lighting 1 candle for each night, so that on the second night there are 2 candles, the third night there's 3 candles, and you get it. You light them from new candle to old, from left to right, with the blessings, of course. The essential purpose is to publicize the miracles of the holiday, the light that lasted beyond expectation, and the few up against the many. The ritual lighting is an invitation to bring more light into our lives and to emanate a nice warm glow during the darkest times of the year. And Hanukkah is not complete without a taste of some oily food. Remember that oil? All the foods of Hanukkah are oily. The most common foods in America are latkes, potato pancakes. The most common food in Israel is called sufganiyot. We know it as a jelly donut. Hanukkah is great for the soul and not so much for the diet, especially if you're celebrating now right after Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh. While you're enjoying these foods, you can chew on the story of the miracles, however you define that. Imagine that each person has a little container of oil containing energy for their well-being. You might feel like you have just barely enough to get through the day sometimes. What would it take then to be able to refill and refuel beyond what's expected? Happy holidays of lights. Happy Hanukkah. We'll now sing our hymn, Light One Candle. And as some are still in the sanctuary and others at home, we ask you, remember, please here not to sing, and those at home to sing and stay muted.
Light one candle for the Latin children, with thanks for their light in light. Light one candle for the pain they endured, when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice, justice and pity of the land. And light one candle for the wisdom to know when peacemakers died in their hand. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need, never become our own. Light one candle for those who are suffering, the pain we lived so long ago. Light one candle for all we needed, and the road will tell us apart. And light one candle to bring us together, with peace as the song in our hearts. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through all our tears. One little memory that's landed so highly, we keep it alive in that flame. What's the commitment to those who have died, and we cry and they will die in vain? As we go forward, believing that justice would somehow prevail. This is the burden, and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through all of our tears.
I always wanted to dance the horror to that. We have a long tradition at Uufcc of sharing our joys, sorrows, and life milestones by entering them into the Book of Life. And if you're used to being here, you know that there is a red Book of Life. And because of the pandemic, we've modified this tradition. You now may mail your joys, sorrows, personal milestones into Book of Life at uufcc.org. Messages should be sent no later than the Saturday prior to the service. During the Sunday service following the receipt of your message, the worship associate, today me, will share or read your words to the congregation. The joys and sorrows and illnesses I have this week include, please keep Mary Lou Proudfoot Kennedy in your hearts. Her father has recently passed away. And from Lori and Jackie, thank you for your thoughts and prayers. Our dear Gabe is out of the hospital, healing, and starts limited work tomorrow. And from, I think, everybody, thank you, Laura Learman, for decorating the sanctuary. For myself, I'm so happy to be here in this space this morning in spirits and sharing the special energy here. Now let us enter into a time of silent prayer or meditation. We'll be called back from our silence with a musical prayer, Spirit of Life. This morning's reflections on Thanksgiving will be presented by Dennis, Jackie reading for Marion, Ken, and Laura.
I've decided that listening to live music has just jumped to the top of my Thanksgiving list. Thank you, Jim. This morning, on behalf of the worship committee, we'll try again. This morning, on behalf of the worship committee, I've invited 3 members to share things that they're thankful for. This seems quite appropriate since this is the end of a long Thanksgiving weekend, and once again, we have returned to our beloved worship together. So in a few minutes, Laura A., followed by Jackie for Marion, who's under the weather, and Ken will tell you about the blessings in their lives and what they are thankful for. But first, I have words of gratitude for you, the members and friends of Uufcc. The words come from President of CHAPS, Mercy Chick, and that really is her real name. For many years, one of our numerous second helping recipients has been Charlotte HIV AIDS People Support Incorporated, or CHAPS. CHAPS, an all-volunteer agency, was founded in 1992 at the height of the AIDS epidemic by Charles Mazereau and Jeannie Frost. Initially, they operated out of a living room and served 8 people. Now CHAPS is located in a warehouse on Paulson Drive here in Port Charlotte, and it serves 450 clients. CHAPS' mission has consistently been to provide food and hygiene items without cost to those persons in need living with HIV, AIDS, and their dependents. In recent years, the pantry has expanded beyond Charlotte County and now serves folks in southern Sarasota and DeSoto counties. They are the only agency of their kind in all of Southwest Florida. Mercy asked me to express her deep gratitude for the ongoing support that the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County has provided through the years as one of our second helping recipients. She told me she has always appreciated UUFCC, but our monthly support of money and food throughout this horrible COVID-19 pandemic has repeatedly overwhelmed her with gratitude. I cannot give you an exact amount we have given to CHAPS over the last year, but Nancy, our treasurer, told me this morning that $5,000 would be a low ball estimate. Now, since CHAPS purchases food from Harry Chapin Food Bank, where $1 buys $7 worth of food, our little community has enabled CHAPS to distribute at least $35,000 worth of food to HIV and AIDS clients and their dependents. So, on behalf of Mercy, the 30-plus volunteers that run the pantry, and the 450 people who benefit from their mission, I have the honor to convey deeply felt thanks to this community. You are truly a generous and caring people. As you know, throughout the pandemic, a third of our monthly second helping contributions have been given to CHAPS. Additionally, our Social Justice Committee has been sponsoring an ongoing food and hygiene product collection campaign for CHAPS through the BOGO box, which is located at the front door. Most Thursday mornings, following the work on the grounds, I deliver these food and hygiene offerings, and despite my dirty clothes and sweat, I am greeted as a very important person. Now we have the opportunity to serve CHAPS in another way. In addition to celebrating the first day of Hanukkah, for Christians, this is the first day of Advent. Advent is the beginning of the Christian liturgical year, and the Advent season encompasses the 4 Sundays prior to Christmas. The Advent season is a time of daily preparation. For the past several years, CHAPS has sponsored what they call a reverse Advent campaign. They distribute empty bags to numerous churches and individuals with the request that they be filled with personal hygiene items for their clients. As you may be aware, the EBT cards do not let them buy things like deodorant or shampoo. We have been doing the Reverse Advent campaign for many years, and we have surrounded our Uufcc Christmas tree with the bags. On your behalf, I promise Mercy that we would once again participate in this gift-giving tradition. So this is what a reverse Advent bag looks like. It's a brown paper bag. So even those of you who are at home that don't have access to this can fill a paper bag. And if you need help picking it up, just give me a call. I've placed the bags for you to pick up. There's one box over here, and for those who go out the front way, I've left them on a chair. They can be returned and placed under our soon-to-be mounted tree any Sunday between now and December 26th. If you are participating in this service via YouTube, as I said, you can do this at home. If you cannot, again, come to the fellowship, just call me. I'll be happy to come and pick them up and return your gift to Chaps. One of the many things I'm grateful for during this Thanksgiving season and through the year is the generosity of our Uufcc community. And all I can say is thank you, dear ones. You are really quite wonderful. And now I'm going to invite Laura A. to come to the pulpit. Oops.
Good morning. The first time I ever attended a Unitarian Universalist church, the speaker was Dr. Leo Sprinkle. At the time, he was a psychology professor at the University of Wyoming. He was well known for his work on UFO sightings. As a career, he described as helping humans understand themselves as cosmic citizens. But that day, at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Laramie, he spoke about his own spiritual path. He was taught, as a child, to say a few quiet words of thanks for the previous day, to offer well wishes to those who cared for him, and to ask God for a good day. Before he went to sleep at night, he would thank God for the day, again acknowledge his family and teachers and friends. As a child, he called that praying. When he became a young adult, he had the same basic routine, but he called it meditating. The language changed a bit because he replaced God with a more cosmic being. Prayer and cosmic citizenry. It doesn't get any more interesting than that. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about those ideas, but I don't pray. Even as a child, I thought the idea of God to be unlikely. I don't meditate. I like that idea, and I attended a Zen meditation center for some time, but I'm not very patient. I do offer thanks and well wishes, and am grateful to many people who help me. I know that my attitude is more positive, and I am happier when I take time to do this. I like being outside. I like being able to breathe fresh air and feel the sun on my face. In fact, I would say I worship the sun. On a cool morning when I'm walking in the shade and I turn the corner and enter a sunny spot, I pause. I feel the sun on my face and smile. I feel the sun enter my heart and I know that life is good. And that goodness leads me to feel gratitude for my ancestors whose lives led me to that very moment in time. I feel the sun enter my bones, and I know that I am alive. Sometimes this lasts a whole minute because I am alone on my walk, and it's chilly out, and I savor the feeling. Sometimes it's hot, and this worship only lasts a few seconds. But either way, the positive feeling sustains me. My getting ready for bed routine also often includes a trip outside with my dog, Aura. If I can stay up late enough and the sky is clear, I am lucky to live in dark places where the stars fill the night sky. In Idaho, the Milky Way is clear in the summer, and even a quick glance up takes my breath away. My feeling at night is one of pondering and reflection. There is a splendor, a mysterious and magnificent feeling that makes me think more broadly about my place in the world, and while I do not understand it, I always feel more peaceful when looking out into the night sky. My time between the sun in the morning and the sky at night is often filled with busyness and sometimes fussing about unimportant matters. I go through my day often in a routine without pause for expressing my feelings. But I know I can choose to appreciate what is good in life, or I can choose to dwell on so much that is bad. I'm not a Pollyanna, but I can use the strength that I gain from gratitude to address something that I can do to make the world better. I can't do a lot, but I can do something. I can express my gratitude. I can share my love with people I encounter. I can support others in their struggles. It isn't a lot, but it is what I can do. It is what I choose to do. I don't pray, and I don't meditate, and I don't know if I'm a good cosmic citizen, but I know that I choose to be here with you in community. I choose to believe that we have the power to make our world a better place.
Wow, this has been overexciting. And Jim, you are perfect. You know, when he was playing that music, honestly, I wanted to get up and dance, but I figured probably not. Of course, that's not what stopped me. Okay, I'm reading from Miriam, who couldn't be here today, and she gave me the honor of reading her list of being grateful. I am grateful for the turning of the globe on its axis. I am grateful for the air we breathe and the earth we walk upon, the water that washes our world, the water we drink, fresh and pure, the food we eat, the sounds we hear, the family and friends who love us and whom we love. I'm grateful for finding this fellowship and for knowing Rev Amy, even for a little while. I am grateful for finding Sunny, my little Shih Tzu poodle, oh well, who has a mind of her own and chooses to love me unconditionally, but does not always obey. I am grateful for the birds who come to the bird bath outside my kitchen window, and for my son Chris, who put it there. I am grateful for the man he has become, honest, strong, caring. I'm grateful as well for my daughter Jenny, artist, musician, and mother. I am grateful for my house and the kitchen window that allows me to look out upon a long view of 3 intersecting canals and the birds that are active there. I'm grateful for books that can take me anywhere I want to go and can inform me, can fill me with tears or laughter. I'm grateful for laughter. I'm grateful for poetry. The music in poetry gives us joy. I'm grateful for music. The poetry in music gives us joy. I'm grateful for a long, healthy life and a strong mind, which keeps me young. However, even as my body ages. I'm grateful for all of you who have gathered here today with joyful hearts. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Ken, and I'm grateful to be here with you all this morning with your smiling faces. Yep, your smiles are even showing through those masks. And I'm grateful to be having the opportunity to share something with you that might add some gratitude to your life as it has to mine. I'll start with a story. About 18 years ago, my late wife Mary and I pulled our RV into a campground near Murfreesboro, Arkansas. Then we set out to visit the Crater of Diamonds State Park. Now, diamonds, you may know, are formed deep in the earth by pressure and heat, and they're brought to the surface by volcanic action. And Crater of Diamonds State Park is actually an old volcanic crater where you can look for diamonds. And some nice ones have been found there. So we paid a few dollars to rent some mining equipment, then spent a few hours under a broiling sun, digging and screening the heavy clay soil. A friendly ranger stood by to help us identify any diamonds we might find. At the end of the afternoon, we had two really beautiful examples of sunburn and exhaustion. Now, how does this relate to gratitude? Well, typically when we think about being grateful, especially in public, I think we trot out the same old list of obvious things to be grateful for. I would call them the crown jewels of gratitude. You know, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, loving friends, family, dark chocolate. But I contend that there are diamonds, gems of gratitude scattered all through your busy workday, your busy life, and that they often get bypassed. So I'm going to tell you how I mine these gems, and maybe it will help you find some in your life. Maybe they'll add another dimension to your joy, and you'll be able to preserve them as treasures. As mining equipment, you'll need three things. First is a bed. Not just any bed, the bed you sleep in every night. Second is a notebook. Not just any notebook, but one that you really enjoy writing in. And third is a pen. Not just any pen, but one you really enjoy using. Now here's how it works. When you get up in the morning, you put the notebook on your pillow, you put the pen on top of the notebook, and then you launch into your busy day. Now comes evening, you're ready to go to bed. But oops, there's that notebook staring me in the face. I've got to do something with it. And what we're going to do is enter three entries that have to do with gratitude. These are things that happened in the course of your day. And I'd say three entries. You may actually use more than three, but three is a minimum. Now you can look for these gems in three kind of locations in your life. The first is things that the universe has dropped on you, or if you don't believe in that kind of thing, just random events. The second is things other people have done for you. We all know about that. And the third is things you've done for yourself or with others. Don't discount yourself as a source of gratitude and joy. Maybe you'd like a few examples of that. Things that the universe have dropped on you. Could be, oh, beautiful day, beautiful sunset, took pictures. Lucky that cop was looking the other way when I went through the light. And you can find others. How about things that others have done for you? Sherry called, FaceTime, 1 hour, plans for her visit set. I finally signed up for that art class I've been wanting for 2 years. And then there's the example of things you do with others. You could say, had a wonderful family outing. Terrific. Kama Sutra morning, floated through the rest of the day. So these are some examples, and you will find others as you go through your day. And you're going to enter them in your book so that it will be like having your treasures on a shelf that you can look back on later. Now, these don't have to be tremendously long entries. In fact, you should keep them listed as sentences, maybe a few words, just something to remind you clearly of what that little bit of gratitude was about. I found that when I was living alone and going through some depression at one time, I was happy to write in there simple things like, got the laundry finished today. Anything that makes you happy is valid as a source of gratitude. So why not try it? Get yourself a notebook, a pen, and go at it. And maybe you'll be luckier than Mary and I were at the Crater of Diamonds.
All right. Those are awesome. Thank you all, guys. In our tradition, congregations exist at the generous support of members and friends. It's our privilege and our responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. To this end, your offerings to support the ministry of this fellowship, whether by pledge or donation, may be offered online. And there's several ways to do that. Several ways to give us your offering. You can mail checks to the office, drop them in our mailbox, or call the office to make other arrangements. We're also equipped to accept donations through Venmo. And payments through this app should be made to Uufcc offering. If you would like your donation to apply to anything other than the operating fund, like our second helping, for example, please indicate your intentions on a checks memo line. Our second helping typically supports the Harry Chapin Food Bank and 2 local food pantries, CHAPS and Meals on Wheels. Your generosity is always appreciated. And if you are with us for the first time, please do not feel any obligation to give. Today you are our guest. You will find the bowl at the front of the sanctuary. As you go out, you can drop your pledge or offering in the bowl today. Usually I know it's for pledges, but that's a good place to put them. Our musical meditation this morning from Jim is Give Thanks by Henry Smith and arranged by Fred Bach. Thank you, Jim. That's the best meditation yet. Now, it's time to highlight Uufcc's special events and activities. Drum roll. Please remember to religiously read your weekly copy of the updates, which includes a calendar and links for connecting via Zoom. The updates provide a very important means for staying connected during these challenging times. Additionally, if you would like to have fellowship events highlighted during the service, you can email the worship associates at bookoflife@uufcc.org. Today, I have the following announcement to read from Fred. And this, I must tell you, so as much as we say you must read the weekly updates, Fred is now doing a monthly newsletter, and if y'all haven't read it yet, you need to. There's interviews, there's jokes, there's information, there's all kinds of things in it. And now, it is our great pleasure that we can announce that Lucy, famed gossip and advice columnist, writing as Dear Lucy, has joined. We'll answer your questions. Have you struggled with the best way to prepare beef kidneys? Or how to match window treatments to your duvet cover? Or how to get your kids to move out? Well, no longer. Dear Lucy will answer all your questions. Send your inquiry in complete confidence to her email address, which is dearlucy@uufcc.org. Just do it. And I think that is all of the announcements. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Lori, sorry.
Good morning. I would ask any of the board members who are here today to come on up here and join me, please. It is a remarkable day of Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness. Oops. With help, here we are. All right. We are almost here. Yes. We thank all of you who are here today, all of you who are at home with us. What a joy it brings to our heart, and such warmth, and such a beautiful day. There are so many of us to thank for so many things, but today is a special day. For one in our midst to step forward and come up, the person who keeps our oil and maintains it throughout the pandemic, throughout the week, from the times that we're not here, from the times that we're not thinking, the person that picks up the things that we forget, who just keeps us going with the oil and the light straight ahead. Mary Jane Williams, please step forward. And on her birthday week on top of it.
Most of the time.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Thank you so much.
I'll see if I can get it down for her.
Yeah, that's cool right here.
That's a good idea.
Again, do not forget to read your weekly copy of the updates. You'll be glad you did. Mary Jane's musings are terrific, and you will find out how active we are despite the pandemic. Thank you, Mary Jane. Closing words are by the Reverend Amy Zucker Morgenstern, Parish Minister at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Palo Alto, California. Never has it been more true than now. We extinguish this flame, but the sparks within us remain alight. From each of us in our supposed solitude, the signals buzz and hum, sparkling through space one to another, connecting us invisibly, but palpably. We are one, and from every window our light shines. And now please join me in our traditional recitation as Dorothy extinguishes the chalice, but not the menorah. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. May those ideals shine in our lives and warm our hearts until we are together again. Go now in peace. Following the musical benediction, Go Now in Peace, we ask the people leave by the door at the front of the sanctuary, and those who would like are invited to meet outside for social time. If you're on Zoom for the social hour, we'll let you know as soon as the technology is ready for conversation. And now, our benediction. Have a lovely week.